Here's a sneak peek at an upcoming episode of Transit Unplugged. It's part one of our look at Canadian innovation in the transport space. Have a listen to this short segment where our guests and Paul are talking about the use of AI in public transit and planning for the future. This episode comes out on Wednesday, June 28th. Visit transitunplugged.com to find the links to subscribe in your favorite podcast app. We're available everywhere podcasts are found.
One of the things we are hearing a lot about right now in the spring and early summer of 2023 is artificial intelligence. With the advent of ChatGPT, it just seems like it's really just coming into the public consciousness, the zeitgeist moment of AI. And every day I see articles about how AI is going to, solve so many problems for us. But I also see articles about how it could lead to the destruction of humankind. So tell us about how you're thinking of using artificial intelligence there at TransLink.
Yeah, first kudos to Canadian government. I guess I don't know if it's well known, but Canada has AI have a lot of up and downs. I'm an old academician myself, and I followed not AI necessarily, but a lot of research trend. They've been from the 60s, 70s, have been hyped and going up and down. And Canada has throughout these years been funding research in AI. So I would say Canada, number one, is one of the leading nations and doing a lot of really cool research here. We should tap into that. Now, AI hit us pretty hard, right? We from not thinking about it, being very kind of again academic and abstract. We see real world applications now, good and bad. I think we have to be careful, but optimistic. We are already trying out a few things. You asked about some pilots we're running. We are using AI to make kind of dumb traffic cameras. And we have a bunch of them in the city, much smarter, and start to collect data on congestion and vehicle types and all that. That's one way to kind of leverage AI. You can use kind of dumb physical infrastructure, but with a smart AI brain and help us with that. We're using AI for bus predictions, and there's much more to come, preventive maintenance and all that. Now, AI, in a sense, is not smart than the humans who are coding it. So we have to be careful to make sure that equity concerns and a lot of other things we, as humans, we take for granted is kind of coded into the AI. But in general, I see a lot of opportunities, and we have to, start trying them out.
Colin, let's mix this up a little bit and bring you into the conversation. With artificial intelligence, my understanding is you guys are using artificial intelligence to help people analyze where the best place is to put these EV chargers. Is that right?
Well, what we're doing is we're understanding the data that we have access to and that different organizations are collecting and storing. And what we're doing is we're trying to uncover that data and trying to overlay it to be able to demonstrate demand, to be able to demonstrate use, and then to be able to predict where the demand is going in the future so that we understand exactly what we need today and we can evaluate whether we're hitting the mark. And then we can look to tomorrow. We can look to a year down the road. We can look to 5 years down the road and potentially 10 years down the road. And we can understand where we need to be so that we can start to make those plans and to take those actions today. I would say that Margaret and Niklas hit on two of the key foundational items in the way that we need to think about the proliferation of this and the equity and inclusion. And that is partnerships and circular thinking. So we need to understand right down at the grassroots level, what is required from which partner and how do we go about bringing the majority into that conversation. So Niklas touched on who we look to as our utility providers, and are they part of this engaged conversation and the ubiquity of the nature of where it needs to be, and that is everywhere. Because obviously when we look to electrification of transportation, our foundation should be public transportation, because then it is inclusive, it's everywhere, and it's available to all. And that's probably one of the most important issues. And then to Margaret's point, it's no one organization is going to do this on its own. It has to be a confluence of organizations and people and efforts to make it happen. at all of the different types of partners, whether they be software AI partners, whether they be utility partners, and local communities, local governments, or the aggregation thereof, as Niklas mentioned in the Metro Vancouver area. We need to start thinking circularly and systemically like that to say this is an inclusive conversation. We need to make charging and electrification available to across industry boundaries. So looking to public transportation industries, and then looking to availability for your individual user who will not have a choice soon enough. The effort that will be undertaken about trading your car in or acquiring a new car, the choice is going to be electric soon enough. And so it's a matter of how do we prepare ourselves for that tsunami and the way that we're going to be moving, both as as an individual, but then also as part of a local community and a greater community.
And again, the whole episode of part 1 of our 2-part series on Canadian tech innovation in transit comes out Wednesday, June the 28th. Look for Transit Unplugged wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe, and you'll never miss an episode. So until later this week, ride safe and ride happy.